Greyhead's journey. Embracing differences and finding confidence. Once upon a time, there was a pigeon. This pigeon was entirely white, except for its head, which was gray. Because of this, the other white pigeons called it Greyhead. Despite the slight difference, Greyhead and the white pigeons became good friends. They could even speak to each other. Sometimes, Greyhead felt a bit ashamed because it looked different from the other pigeons. One day, Greyhead, who lived by the seaside, unexpectedly told its companions, "I want to go and play in the distant forest." Oh my, flying from the seaside to the forest would take 2 days and 2 nights. The companions were astonished and said, "Greyhead, do you really want to go? That's a 2-day and 2-night flight." "I have already made up my mind," Greyhead said firmly. The companions didn't say much and prepared food for it before bidding farewell. After a long journey of 2 days and 2 nights, Greyhead finally arrived in the forest it had longed for. Ah! How beautiful the forest is! The lush green leaves cover the sky and the earth. Greyhead praised the beautiful forest, flying around and admiring the picturesque scenery. However, the joy didn't last long. There was a loud whack, and an arrow had already pierced Greyhead's body. Greyhead let out a cry, but luckily, it landed between the branches instead of falling to the ground. Otherwise, it would have fallen into the hands of the hunter. As for the hunter, seeing that the pigeon didn't fall, he became extremely frustrated and had no choice but to leave. Greyhead was injured. It could only hop to the base of a tree, walking with a limp. After walking for a while, it saw a small wooden house in the forest, where an old grandfather lived. The old grandfather saw the injured pigeon at his doorstep and gently picked it up, bringing it inside to treat its wounds. Greyhead was extremely grateful to the kind-hearted old grandfather and said, "Thank you." The old grandfather was surprised, thinking to himself, "This pigeon can speak. I'll have a conversation with it." So, the old grandfather chatted with Greyhead. "Do you have a name?" "I'm called Greyhead because I look different from the other pigeons, and it makes me feel ashamed," Greyhead replied. The old grandfather said, "Confidence is the most important thing. You need to have confidence. It doesn't matter if you look different as long as your companions are still your friends." Greyhead was deeply grateful. Once Greyhead's wounds healed, it flew back to the seaside. From then on, it was filled with self-confidence. It understood that confidence is golden. Self-confidence is golden.